Hey guys, it's Andy, and I want to tell you a little secret. The reason that I give all this information out and I don't charge for any of this information, and honestly, this is intellectual property. You know, a lot of these ideas are ideas that I actually use every single day with my own clients. The reason I give it all away for free is because I know that 99.9% of people out there are never going to do anything with it. Even though this information is extremely valuable and it has the ability to make lots and lots of money for law firms all over the world, I know just human nature. I know most people are going to do absolutely nothing with it. So I have no problem giving all this information away for free. Now, I've got another strategy that I want to share with you today that has the potential to absolutely change your life. And I'm not exaggerating with that. This is probably the absolute best strategy that you can take with a law firm to market your law firm. The problem is 99.9999% of you people out there are never going to do it. And I mean, it's just a fact. I know you're not going to do it. So here is the absolute best strategy for how to market your law firm in terms of getting clients. So this strategy is designed to make you an authority in your area of the law in your region. So let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Last year, you may remember there was a train crash. The train crashed in the morning, and I contacted my client and I said, hey, you need to pull out your cell phone and record a 2-minute video talking about how this train crash should not have happened, how there was I don't know if you know this or not, but there was a government mandate that required some sort of mechanism on the train tracks that brakes the train, or it engages the train's brakes if it's approaching a curve too quickly. If that technology was being used in this train crash, it would not have happened. So what ended up happening is the train hit the corner too fast and it basically derailed. So I contacted my client and I said, listen, what we need to do is you need to go on camera, you need to create a video talking about how this train crash should not have happened, how they should have had this technology, and how it was totally preventable, and how the government dropped the ball, or whoever it was. I don't remember the details of the story, but basically talk about how it should not have happened and what caused it and who dropped the ball and who's responsible. So I made sure that he created this video, and I made sure that it was less than 2 minutes and 20 seconds long, because that's the maximum length your videos can be on Twitter. So then what I did is I found every reporter and every journalist in the area that was covering the story, and I found their Twitter handle, and I found their Instagram, and I found their Facebook, and I found their email address. And I sent the video to every single one of them. And I said, hey, and I did it as my client. I said, hey, I have an interesting take on this story if you'd like to take a look at it. So what ended up happening was the journalists took a look at it, they watched it, and some of them actually featured the video that he recorded on the news within about an hour. After that, one of the journalists reached out and said, hey, we'd like to interview you on the 6 o'clock news. Now, this strategy all worked because he took the initiative. He recorded a video, which everybody's got the best video camera. I mean, this is the best video camera. This is an iPhone 7. This shoots 4K video. This is perfect for what you need. All you have to do, pull out your video camera. You want to hold it sideways. Make sure you hold it like this. Don't hold it like this because everybody hates that. Hold it like this. Record a 2-minute video. 2 minutes and 20 seconds is the max. Talking, giving your expert opinion on a subject that is popular in the news. So now with my client, because he recorded this one video, what he does, every time there's anything newsworthy, he pulls out his phone and he sends me a video, and then we send it to every journalist in the city. And he gets featured a lot. And a lot of these journalists now actually contact him because they know that he's an authority on the figure. It's easy. There's lots of personal injury attorneys, but they already know this guy. They know he's good on camera. They know his phone number. They know his email address. They could just shoot him an email and say, hey, I need your opinion on this story. Or, hey, can you hop on Skype and we can interview you real quick. So this strategy has absolutely changed his life, because what ends up happening is now he's become an authority. He also gets links from the websites of the news organizations. And if you don't know this, links from local organizations to your website are extremely important. The reason that I say most people are never going to be successful with this strategy is because my client got lucky. He got picked up on his first try. Most times, and I'm going to say 99% of the times, this strategy requires an unbelievable amount of persistence, but it's worth it because it pays off. You're going to record a video and you're not going to get a response. Then you're going to record another video and you're not going to get a response. Then you're going to record 3, 4, 5, 6 videos and you're not going to get any responses. But on that 7th video, you're going to get a response. And they're going to ask you, hey, can I feature this on our 6 o'clock news? Or, hey, can I ask you, can I get a quote from you? And that's when it starts to work. But the problem is this takes persistence. It's human nature. If you can make someone's job easier, you're going to be valuable and they're going to want to work with you. So what your job is in terms of being an influencer is to figure out what the stories are that pertain to you and figure out how can you provide content that's going to enhance the story and make their job easier. So here's the actual strategy. You need to do this on a consistent basis. So a lot of my clients have assistants, or they have someone that answers the phone for them, or somebody sitting at the front desk. Look, the reality is they're sitting on Facebook anyway. So what you need to do, one thing you can do, and I tell this to my clients, is tell the girl on Facebook to follow every news organization. Tell her to follow the newspaper. Tell her to follow ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, all the local affiliates that are going to be covering stories that are actually happening in your area. When something happens, have her send you the link so you can take a look at the story, because they're going to report it on their website. When they have the story, pull out your phone, hold it like this, and press record. You'll be able to see yourself on there. Pull out your phone, press record. Now, for best results, you should go to Amazon and get a tripod. And they have these tripods designed for an iPhone, for an Android. They cost maybe $5. If you want to do this and you don't have it, let me know. I'll send you a tripod. They're so cheap. Just go to Amazon and Google iPhone tripod. So if you do that and you hold the phone sideways and you've got a stable connection, that is all you need to execute this strategy. And a lot of times, I talk to some people and they say, well, I want to wait till I get a video studio set up and, something like what I have. Listen, done is better than perfect. If you try to make things perfect, if you try to get the sound right, if you try to get the lighting right, if you try to wait for the best camera, you're never going to do it, because every time you add another element like lighting or sound or camera or audio or anything like that, audio is sound, anytime you add anything like this, like overlay, graphic overlay, you're adding another step that's going to make it less likely that you're going to be able to do this. The beauty of this strategy is you pull out your phone, you hit record, and you hit tweet. That's pretty much the strategy. So here is the entire strategy. First, you're going to monitor the news. Look at ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, all the local affiliates. Look at your local newspapers. Anytime there's a story that is relevant to your practice area that you can comment on, and this is key, it's got to be something that you actually have something to say about. Don't just report, because the opposite effect can happen if you create videos and create content just for the sake of creating content and don't actually provide real high quality value to the reporter. It's not going to work. They're going to think you're wasting your time they're going to think you're wasting their time when they finally watch one of your videos. So don't do that. Only record a video when you have something to say. Then what you're going to do, look at the article. You're going to look at the reporter. You can find, typically in the article, they're going to have their Twitter handle, they'll have their Instagram, they'll have their Facebook, maybe they'll have their email address. If it's not in the article, Google their name and you will find it. I promise you will find it. Now, when you're recording the video, make sure the video is 2 minutes and 20 seconds or longer, because that's the absolute maximum length you can upload to Twitter. So now what you want to do, record the video, upload it to Twitter, and tweet it at the reporter. Say, I recorded a quick video discussing the train crash today, and make sure you tag them in it. If they don't have Twitter, look for their Instagram, look for their Facebook, look for their email address. Some reporters still use email address, but I found that Twitter is the best place for reporters. If you really want to execute this strategy, maybe follow up with them. The other nice thing about this is when a reporter is actually on a remote, when they're actually, I'm sure you've seen when there's a train crash and the news cuts to the reporter and they're standing outside, outside the train, at the wreckage field or whatever it's called. When they're not on camera, they're standing around looking at Twitter or they're looking at Facebook. If you see that they were there recently and you can create content and send it to them very quickly, that's the beauty of the internet. You can see someone on TV and have a video in their hand in 3 minutes. Literally. I'm not even exaggerating. You can have content in their hand in 3 minutes. So are you starting to see how powerful this concept actually is? Hopefully you are. Now, if you really want to be persistent, you really want to do well, follow up. About an hour later, maybe 2 hours later, send them an email, send them a tweet, send them a direct message on Twitter if they follow you back. I don't know. Figure out a way to contact them and say, hey, listen, I wanted to see if you got that video I sent you. And let them know that you're available for comments in the future. One of the biggest things is that follow-ups will get way more responses than the initial contact. It's just human nature. That's how it always is. Think about how many times somebody sends you an email and you mean to get back to them or you don't get back to them, and then they send you an email 2 days later, hey, did you ever see this? And then you say, oh yeah, that's right, I got to reply to this guy. If you're persistent, if you follow up, if you provide useful information, if you make their job easier, you will see success. Now, step 4, and this is the challenging part. You need to repeat the process, and you need to be persistent, and you need to repeat this process over and over and over and over and over again until you start getting results. You may do this 15 times and not get a single mention, may not get a single piece of coverage, but you will get coverage. You may have to do it 100 times. I don't know how many times. It's every journalist is different, every market is different. Some markets are more competitive, but I guarantee you, if you do this and you stay persistent, you will have success. This is a strategy that I use for my own clients. I know people who have made millions and millions of dollars off this strategy. Stick with it. It will work, and don't be part of that 99.9999%.